yesterday, man. Let's go. Hey, good check, boy. Hey, first off, keep running. You 220. Keep running. Just for the tackle you easy. Stiff arm his ass. Oh!
Solo.
And hello, welcome to Solo Playthroughs for the first live stream of 2023. Yes. I hope everyone had an amazing new year, and we are starting things off today with Resident Evil 3, the board game, specifically the City of Ruins expansion. For those who do not know, the Resident Evil 3, the board game, is a campaign where it takes you through Raccoon City. There's, it's a zombie apocalypse. Act surprise. Spoiler alert. You're running around. You are finding a way to get the things that you need to start a cable car, and that's it. I mean, if you do it, you win. You beat Nemesis Stage 2, and all should be right with the world. You will go find some other survivors in other cities, presumably, and move on with your these whatever remains of the pieces of your life that you can start to cobble together. Again, however, the City of Ruins comes along and says, heck no, not so fast. We have some more zombie horror things to throw your way. Some new monsters, some new weapons, some new scenarios. There are 9 new scenarios in the City of Ruins expansion that extend the campaign. From a narrative standpoint, the link's a little tenuous. You're just like, oh, no, we're in a hospital. What happened to the cable car? I don't know. I might have missed the sentence or two that explained that, but it's not a big deal. And I have some mostly positive things to say about the expansion. Not all positive, but I do like the expansion, and I still really do like this game. If someone could just type in the chat and let me know that I sound good, and we're good to go. Again, New Year, I'm hoping to not start off with 17 minutes of static. Not that I've ever done that more than once or twice, but we'll get into kind of talking about the game. So Resident Evil 3 was a review copy sent to me, including the City of Ruins expansion. Review copy sent to me by Steamforged Games. The first game that they sent me last year, about 7 months ago, I featured a recorded playthrough back. Remember the magic of things when I used to record and edit things? That was a long time. Long time ago, it seems, but I did a recorded playthrough of one of the scenarios from the base game. Got that on the channel. Madi says, you sound great. Thank you, Madi. Mahaba to you. I hope you had an amazing New Year. So, we got that on the channel, and then on my top 10 games of 2022, I put this at number 9 or 10. I can't remember which was which. Like Champions of Horror was up there, and Resident Evil 3 was up there. I just forget which was which. Hadn't played Resident Evil 3 in a while, and there was definitely a part of my head, I'm like, is that game really that good? I don't know. Like, it was fun. I played this with my friends once. It didn't go very well, and I've come to realize this is a much better solo game, in my opinion. And I don't care how many players that you're playing, but some turns just aren't very exciting. Like, a lot of times you'll have a turn where you just move 4 times. Like, and if you have the right group that everyone can make really fast turns, that's great. But if you have a group where 1 or 2 people want to do more on each of their turns, that can be kind of a drag. So I wouldn't recommend this for group play unless you have the right group that just really loves the IP and people just really take very fast turns. We played with one guy who is prone to AP, and that was analysis paralysis for those who don't know what AP stands for. And that wasn't very fun. Solo, this game is amazing because you can just move really quick. The flow is very nice, and it does a lot of things really well. I don't know if this is still going to be in my top 10. I have to make room for a lot of other, new favorite games that I've learned about in the last year, but this is still going to be a top game for me for sure. And the expansion, I'll talk about that. The expansion adds some really awesome scenarios and some things that are like, eh. Yeah, I would rather the expansion be 6 great scenarios than 9 scenarios where one just kind of felt like super easy or way for you to get some more resources or more items, and one like I felt like though I just came through a boss fight in scenario 5 and the boss fight was rather underwhelming. What it did do though is very much deplete me of ammo, so that's going to make getting into this scenario super hard. I have never played this scenario before. I only have 4 scenarios left in the City of Ruins campaign, so we'll see how it goes. I'm a little scared because, again, I have very, very little ammo. But hopefully we can find a way to pull this off. I have gone ahead and set everything up. The setup, again, is defined by the rulebook. So if you notice, all these tiles are in the proper place that they're supposed to be. Items and different tokens are all where they belong. Any enemies that start on the board are all in their current locations. We have typewriters, we have B items, we have A items, we have a C item, we have like corpses lying on the ground. We have all these kinds of different doors and archways and things like that. We have things that make us trigger events. We have stairwells. I did put a die on each of the one stairwell to show that they're connected. The coloring is not that different for the 2 different stairwells, so just to kind of make it super clear for the video, that's stairwell 1, so I can go there and spend an action to go there, or vice versa, and this is stairwell 2. I can go there or there, spend an action to go to the other tile there. This is the storage thing. There is a little mat that they give you, which is off screen. In the storage area, you can have 8 items. I am starting the scenario. I just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items in the storage thing. If I get to an adjacent spot to there, adjacency is orthogonal or diagonal, I can spend an action to swap out items. Additionally, I have an inventory. Jill can have an inventory of 8 things because she has a backpack that can hold 8 things. And Mikhail here has an inventory of 6, so he can only hold 6 things. What I am starting with, actually, let me go through what I have in here. So in my storage facility, I have an ink reel. Ink reels can be used to refresh the tension deck. Again, if you ever have to pull a tension card and there is not a card in the deck, you lose. We have the Western Custom M37. It is a very, very good shotgun. However, I have no shotgun ammo, so we're going to keep that sucker in there. And actually, let me put this thing here. I'll keep the Western Custom out. And we will. Wait, what's in the B deck again? What's in the B deck? Is that shotgun? Those are shotgun shells. Interesting. That's fine. Yeah, I'll keep the Western Custom out anyway. Can I treat that as a? I think I could treat that as a shotgun. Maybe I'll have them both carry empty shotguns, just in case. Yeah, we'll do that. So we'll have him have 4 things that can enhance the grenade launcher. Great. So in the thing, I'm going to keep a grenade launcher because then I don't have enough ammo to carry it. I have the Magnum, which is an amazing weapon. Again, no ammo for that. An assault rifle, no ammo for that. And we have 1 ink reel. And I'll put these suckers back. In Jill's starting inventory, what we have for her is she has her Eagle 6.0, which is her upgraded handgun. The handgun is reset to 15 ammo. It also has the surge ability. So if I spend 1 ammo, I can roll a red and a blue die and see whatever the results are. I could spend 2 ammo to roll 1 additional blue die. I could spend 3 ammo to roll 1 additional blue die. So if I wanted to, I could fire the handgun 5 times, use all my ammo, but each time I'm rolling 4 dice, which can be pretty good. Again, this is a game though where you want to be very, very conservative with your ammo. And if there was a way to move around a zombie without killing it, that can be very preferential. Preferential, yeah, preferred. I don't know, whatever word you want to choose. I do have some enhanced handgun bullets. Normally in the base game, the bullets would only kind of increase your handgun ammo by 8. These enhanced bullets are kind of special though. So line of sight. So again, the range is line of sight. So as long as I have line of sight, I can shoot. Doesn't matter how far away. When I roll this die, though, instead of rolling a red and a blue, I'm just rolling a blue, which means I'm only going to hit half the time, which isn't great. But if I hit, I always do damage. Whereas the base handgun, I might only push instead of doing damage. And I'll explain all that as we start getting into some combat during this game. Again, I'm going to bring the Western Custom M37, but it has no bullets in it. Maybe I will find some bullets among these A items. And then I do have one first aid spray. First aid spray can increase health by 3 levels. Now, Jill's coming in. She was in good shape when we beat the boss. So she just ended up, at the end of every round, you get 2 levels of health back. So she was here. So now she's at full health entering this round, which is a good spot for her. And then she has this first aid spray. Although maybe keeping the first aid spray with her is a bad idea. I'm going to actually give her the grenade launcher and give the first aid spray to Mikhail, and you'll see why in a second. So she has 3 different ammo wheels here, but 2 of those weapons are indeed empty. So I'm going to take the empty ammo wheels and just take them off the board to simplify things. Now, her special ability is if she rolls this specific symbol when she's attacking, she can immediately reposition herself. And additionally, the first time she becomes unconscious during a scenario, where instead of her like being unconscious, because normally they're just unconscious and somebody else needs to come by and spend the first aid spray to bring them back to life. Instead of that, though, what happens is she actually will just be able to move to another place, but she's on danger, so she's 1 away from death. When she does an evade roll, she rolls 2 dice. The quality of what she needs to successfully evade will depend on how many enemies are within attack range. And again, I'll explain all of that as we go. These symbols here show what her starting equipment was. We have moved very, very far beyond her starting equipment. So all of my starter cards, they're the cards that have an S on the back, they're all over here on the side because they are no longer in play. Victor, what's his deal? So Victor, he was knocked out unconscious during the boss battle. I say it was kind of a lame little battle, but so does that mean he starts there? That's an interesting question. I don't know the answer to that. So he was knocked unconscious. Now, normally, if you're knocked out and you're unconscious in the middle of a battle or a scenario and you're not brought back to life, it means that you are like the group has lost the battle. They've lost the scenario. You have to redo it. And when you're doing a boss battle, that no longer applies. Boss battles have a lot of special rules. There is a really good page in the original rulebook explaining all the ins and outs of boss battles. It's page 30. So I do appreciate that part of the rulebook. Rulebook as a whole, it's not great. There's a lot of ambiguities. There's a lot of things that could have used another half sentence of clarification. You kind of muddle through. There's still some ambiguities during gameplay. Whenever there's an ambiguity and I'm making an assumption, I will say it. Again, despite all of that, I do think this game is more about, the mechanics. I don't think the ambiguities make that big of a difference based on the mechanics, and kind of we'll go through all that. So, he was ended the last scenario unconscious. So if he gains 2, again, this is one of those ambiguities. If he gains 2 health, successfully complete the scenario, I guess he just gains 2 health to there instead of starting at danger and going to caution. I don't know. I think he would go to caution, honestly, because every time someone's resuscitated, they get resuscitated to caution. So I'm going to play that he would start at caution. It seems absurd for him to start there, but that's just me. I mean, I am starting with the first aid spray, so we'll see if it matters. But ultimately, he's got 4 items. Again, he can only have 6. So as he starts gathering items, we are going to need to use them or lose them or just drop something. So he has his Eagle 6.0. Again, we have an upgraded handgun. We have a shotgun, but I have no shells. And so I'll take another empty shotgun ammo dial, put it down here. We have our first aid spray, and we have a gunpowder C. The gunpowder C can increase a character's grenade launcher by 2 points. Discard a gunpowder A in addition to increase it to full instead. So that would be 6. And actually, since I gave her the grenade launcher, I will also give her the gunpowder C, which makes sense. They both now have 3 slots open in their inventory. Now, his special ability, now he can only roll 1 die during an evade roll, not 2. However, to counter that, whenever he would suffer 2 or more damage at once, he instead only suffers 1, and he's battle hardened when he would roll a die to suffer damage from fire tokens. There aren't going to be any fire tokens on the board, but if there were, if you entered a space with a fire token, you'd have to roll a die. On a Raccoon City symbol, a 2 or a 3, you have to take a damage. With Mikhail, he only takes a damage when you roll the Raccoon City symbol. That is a symbol that you will come to hate very strongly, but we will see all of that play out. Now, Raquel's going to start on that spot because that is in the rulebook. That's a 2. Again, there's going to be a 1 and a 2 on the board. Now, if you're playing with 3 characters, 2 would start on one of them, the other one would start on the other. Play 4 characters, 2 characters would start on each, and then she's going to start over there on a 1. You'll also notice the flooded tile. That is a new mechanic for the City of Ruins. That means when she tries to do a movement, instead of it costing 1 of her 4 actions every turn, it's going to cost her 2. The one thing I should say, there's a lot of things I should say. How to go about it? So these are the different, enemy behavior cards of different enemies we might see in the scenario. We have zombies, drain demoses, sliding worms, zombie dogs, hunter betas, and hunter, what's the Y in Greek? Is that gamma? Might be a gamma. Someone smarter, somebody who knows Greek who's smarter than me can tell me that. I'm shuffling up the item A deck. So in the item A deck, we have all the items. Again, a lot of them from the base game. Some are new that were added in the City of Ruins expansion. So I'm going to shuffle that. The B deck is seeded at the beginning of every scenario as per the campaign instructions. So there's only 2 cards in here. One of them is the first aid spray. I'm sorry, one of them is enhanced shotgun shells, and one of them is a rear gate key. So no first aid sprays for me. Sorry about that, misspeaking. And then the item C deck. In the base game, the item C deck was often the thing that allowed you to unlock different scenarios. In this game, it's more of the thing that makes that you need to successfully complete a scenario. Well, this scenario has some special rules, which I will read before we start. This is going to be the danger level in the city. When we started the campaign for the City of Ruins, we immediately reduced the level by 12. And I was doing very well in the base game campaign, so my threat never got very high because I kept doing events that allowed me to lower it, which meant I kept choosing harder choices, but I was lowering the threat. I killed the Nemesis a bunch of times. It was really nice. So when I started to the City of Ruins, I was able to reset this down to 0. I've completed 5 scenarios in the City of Ruins. It goes up by 1 automatically at the end of every scenario. 2, 3, 4, 5. If you lose a scenario, I think it goes up by 2. So there definitely is a component. Like if you start doing poorly in this campaign, you might want to start strongly thinking about restarting it because that's not going to be great. At the start of the scenario, we do start with 1. In a 2-player game, we start with 1 ink ribbon. Again, when we're adjacent to a typewriter, we could discard this ink ribbon to refresh the tension deck. Now, one thing I will say is I've never played more than 2 characters. I don't know how fun that would be. I'm sure it's great. But this game can be a lot harder at 3 or 4 players because you're burning through the tension deck that much more quickly. The tension deck does carry over from the base game, but every scenario may add other cards to it. We had like 3 Earthway cards in the last scenario before the boss battle. Those did some things. So this deck will change and augment over time, not radically, but enough here or there. And then as your city level threat changes, the higher you get up on this track, certain extra effects might be triggered. So the fact that we've been able to stay in green has really helped me as I've gone along in this campaign. Mari says Happy New Year, and then he says I'm going climbing directly from work. Just stopped to say hi. This game has a lot of components. Yeah. There's a lot going on. Have fun climbing. It has been way too long since I've gone on a climbing trip, but it was definitely something I did a fair amount in college. Now, this map is very tall, so I did have to cut off half a square at the top and the bottom of the board, so you'll notice that. But I will try to keep the component stuff near the portion of each tile that is on the screen. We do have a little bit of a drain demos down here. He's chilling and it's kind of waiting to say hello to us if we arrive on his doorstep. You'll see the yellows, the oranges, these little squares around that indicates how threatening each of those tiles are. The first time we enter a square that has one of those things, we have to roll this black die. Where are you? There you are. And we're going to have to roll, and then we'll compare it to the table. So the encounter dice table, we enter a yellow spot. Great. I rolled a 4. That would say, hey, I have to spawn a zombie. And then there's a lurch forward effect, which I'll explain what that means for gameplay when we get there. But all in all, I think that is it. So let me get to story time with Greg. The beast may have been killed. Again, I just had a boss battle, so we're finishing up the boss battle, and now we're entering this. Now, I really loved scenarios 1, 2, and 4 before this one. So we'll hopefully, the boss battle was just fine. And 3 was, again, I kind of thought was just like a filler, kind of waste of time. Like if you survive to the point to get to 3 and you have trouble with 3, I don't know. Maybe I was missing something in the design of 3, but it just didn't seem all that hard. All right, the beast may have been killed, but the city park is no safer for it. The sound of your battle has attracted a horde of adversaries, giving you little time to rest. Ahead, a long bridge extends over a wide ravine, leading to a towering industrial complex. Perhaps you can find shelter behind those high walls. The scenario takes place in the Raccoon City Park. In this scenario, the characters must fight their way out of the park and reach the ominous industrial building on the horizon. The player successfully complete the scenario if all characters are on the staff room tile and there are no enemies on that tile. Now, where's the staff room tile? I will put this on the staff room tile. The map tells us the staff room tile is right here. And this also says this is a bridge tile. No other tile has a special name. Now, the artwork in the tiles are like very generic, like zombie apocalypse world. Sometimes they don't make sense for the specific scenario that you're in. It kind of works. It's probably easier for setup and takedown than, like, say Gloomhaven, for instance, when you're saying, find tiles, you know, GA or whatever. Like, this is probably better. And there's just less components this way and whatever. But some of the art I do think is a little strange, considering what you're doing. But the art is like darker, so it's a little muted anyway. So just a note for that. So these, I didn't have to find a specific tile. I found a shape of tile, and then I put them all in their right places, as opposed to finding a specific individual tile for each portion of the board. That would be pretty onerous. Setup in this game can take quite a while, depending on the scenario. Again, by the time you get the tiles, you get the doors, you get the items, you get the encounter markers, you get the enemies. Again, there's a lot of crap going on. So, the staff room, the special rules secure location. The characters in the staff room tile do not have to draw a card during the tension phase. We set up our item B decks. We set up our item C deck. The tension deck at the start of the scenario. Search the tension deck for any earthquake cards and remove them from the game. I used all the earthquake cards in my last scenario that I used the tension deck. When you're playing against a boss, you don't actually use the tension deck. Each of the bosses has their own deck instead, so we don't have to worry about that. And shuffle the deck. We already did Nemesis stage 2. So stage 2, we killed him at the end of the base game, but I guess he's back. So we needed the stage 2 reference card, and then the Nemesis stage 2 charge card, which is like a special behavior card for Nemesis stage 2. And then there's 6 other behavior cards. Now I'm kind of confused about that, because no, maybe that makes sense. If we're on a tile with the Nemesis, we effectively won't be able to leave that tile until we defeat the Nemesis. And again, instead of drawing a tension card, we would have to draw from the bosses, because Nemesis stage 2 is a boss. Nemesis stage 1 is not a boss, which is a whole other thing. I did feature a playthrough against Nemesis stage 1 in the first time I put this game in the channel, and I think I might have called him a boss. That was wrong. There are only 2 bosses in the base game, and that's Nemesis stage 2, and that was a juvenile gravedigger, We already faced the adult gravedigger, and now we're going to have Nemesis Stage 2 back. But if we enter the same tile as him, again, instead of drawing from the tension deck, we're simply drawing behavior cards. But that's going to be pretty rough to attack him because he's going to have 30 health. And again, I used all my ammo in defeating the adult gravedigger in the last scenario, and that dude had 50 health. So I don't see a world where I can try to attack this dude in good faith. Now, this is a bridge. If you notice on the map here, thematically, this bridge tile is pretty close to this tile. And I did lie. This is a riverbank. So that is another special tile that's on the board. And you'll note those flooded tokens indicating that it's very wet there. So moving around is going to be a wee bit harder than it would be normally. And by a wee bit, I mean doubly as hard because, that's the thing. There is this key tile here. The key tile, we have no clear instructions of what that key tile does. That's normal. We will find out what we're doing with that key tile as we go. But for now, we're just going to move on and pretend that's good. This is still bothering me a little bit, whether that's supposed to be a 2 or not. I think I just used the first aid spray and just get myself up to full on my first turn. And then we'll just have to hopefully find more things to heal as we go. So we're gonna have our first turn. So Jill is gonna be my number 1 player. She's on the 1 key as per the map I have in front of me over here. She has 4 actions on her turn, so it's gonna take 2 actions for her to get here, and now it's gonna take 2 actions for her to get here. Again, that tile is flooded. I landed on a tile with a zombie. Now, that zombie could a corpse. That corpse can become a zombie at any point. I caught that die before I fell on the floor, which is great. Good luck already. So since I landed on a tile with a corpse, I need to roll this die. I did not roll the Raccoon City symbol. If I had, then that would have animated and become a zombie, and that would have been one more thing for me to deal with. Every time you either land on end of movement on a tile with a corpse, or do an action on a tile with a corpse, you have to roll that die. And again, every time you roll it, 1 in the 6 chance you are going to turn a corpse into a zombie. So that will probably happen 1 or 2 times in the course of the scenario. There are corpses everywhere. We have a corpse there, corpse there, corpse there, corpse there, corpse there, corpse there. There's a lot of freaking corpses, kids, and that's going to be a problem. So that is the end of Jill's turn. She's going to draw from the tension deck. Bam, all clear. There are no other special instructions. Now, how I do this to kind of keep this a little more organized is I will basically start a individual pile for Jill, an individual pile for Mikhail, and once I get the 10 cards, then I'll put that in a discard pile. This helps make sure that I'm remembering to pull the tension cards. So it's just a little device that I use playing multi-handed. And plus, there's often effects that are in play that you're going to need to care about, and I just find it making it a little easier for me to remember what effects are still in play for a round or what might not be. So we're going to go to Mikhail's turn. Mikhail's going to spend 1 action to go here. He has 3 actions left. He's going to flip this door open. He has 2 actions left. It's always a risk. Do I want to do an encounter with only 1 action remaining once I get there? Sure, why not? So Mikhail's going to enter this tile, and that's going to trigger this yellow. So I take that off the board, and I'm going to roll a die here. Bam, I compare that to the chart. The chart down here, it says, because I rolled a 4, I probably should have taken a picture of this and had this as a little inset. I just thought about that now. Sorry about that. But what it says is, since I rolled a 4, I spawn 1 zombie. Zombies spawn on the enemies in general. And whether corpses count as enemies as this or not, I play that they do. I'm not sure that's correct. Again, some ambiguities. So a zombie's going to spawn there, and then it's going to lurch forward. All enemies on this tile and linked tiles perform a move reaction. So this sucker is going to move right there. I do have 1 more action, so I could try to kill that zombie. That seems a little silly. Instead, he goes there. I want to get that A item. Maybe I try to kill him. He might be really annoying. I am going to try to kill. I wanted to use that first aid spray too. I probably should have done that this turn and not entered, but I play bad. So I am going to shoot at the zombie. I'm going to spend 2 bullets, which means because the first bullet, the card tells me I get a red and a blue, and now I spent a second bullet, which lets me roll another blue. So I'm rolling 3 dice against the red zombie. Let's look at the results. So If it survived, I would have pushed it twice. You could push it any direction that you want. And then I also did manage to get a damage. 3 dice, it is pretty easy to roll 3 ineffective results. Had I failed in this attack, the zombie would have done a reaction and just moved one more space toward me, and then it would have attacked me in the overall reaction phase. So there are out of sequence reactions, which the zombies are responding to something that you do, and then there's the reaction phase in general. But since it's dead, because I did roll that 1 damage with that 1 blue die, this zombie is out. How do the blue dice compare to the red dice? Well, the red dice have 1 blank side. They have 1 side which is like a special attack that only some weapons have. So if you have a weapon that does not have that special attack symbol, it doesn't mean anything for you. It has 2 sides, or is it 3 sides? Yeah, it has 2 sides that have that symbol, which is, again, with the Eagle 6.0 was a push, with the shotgun would be a damage. Again, every weapon is different. And then it has 1 side which shows like the wound entrance, like mark. That's pretty much always damage. How much damage, again, depends on the weapon. And for some weapons, those symbols will often do area of effect damage. So if there's like 4 zombies in one place, ideally you have a weapon that if you hit, you kill everything there instead of just one. So those are my 4 actions. I killed that zombie. Reaction phase, there are no zombies on this tile. There are also no zombies on any connected tiles. Connected tiles are any tiles that are connected by an open doorway or an archway. For instance, if I was on Jill's turn, this is an archway. If there was any zombies there, it would have done a reaction phase, but there were no zombies there, so we just moved on to Mikhail's turn. Or we moved on to the tension phase for Jill first and then Mikhail's turn. And now, since the reaction phase is over, on Mikhail's turn, we're going to pull 1 card. It is an all clear. When you see green at the top, that's usually a good thing. Some of these cards are really nasty. They are red, they are yellow, and they are green. Again, you can kind of guess which is worse for you. We go to Jill's turn now. Jill is going to spend 2 actions to move here. Remember, it's a flooded tile, so it does cost her 2 actions to move. And then she's going to spend 1 action. Or nope, she's still on a flooded tile. So it would be her last 2 actions to enter there, and she'd have no more turns. And I don't love that. So she's gonna chill because I'm not excited about getting in there, potentially spawning enemies, and having no more actions to do. So she's gonna forgo her last 2 actions. There's nothing to react in the reaction phase, and then we just draw a card. It's another all clear. I do not know the exact breakdown of how many all clears are in the deck. That's probably something I should have figured out. We go to Mikhail's turn. Mikhail's going to spend an action to use an item. If you use an item, it costs an action. And then you just kind of follow whatever it says on the card. So here it says heal this character or another character in the same or an adjacent square by 3 levels, or resuscitate an unconscious character to caution. Now, spending my only first aid spray is a little dangerous because now if one of these guys get unconscious, I'm going to have no way to revive them. And if I don't have a way to revive them, well, guess what? I'm not going to be able to win this scenario. Although I might be spawning a boss, so I don't know how that works out. Again, fun with ambiguities. It's a good time. But anyway, we're getting him back to full health. I think that's super important. All right, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before you're dead. That's not a lot. There are a lot of times things that can happen that can just give you a damage here or there. The second action from Mikhail is he's going to go here. The third action, he's going to search and grab this item. One of the things I like about the items here is that you don't get trolled. I don't like that mechanic in games. To me, if I'm spending actions to do things, it would be nice if I actually got something done, as opposed to being like, oh, you have this useless thing. This is probably the most useless thing I could have gotten, but still has some potential utility. This is a red herb. To use that, I can discard it when using a green herb to heal. I said herb, I don't know. Speaking is hard. To heal 2 additional levels. So this is a way to get a lot of extra heal, but again, it's only useful if I also find a green herb. Herb, one of those 2 things. H's are hard. That is what I used it. I moved. I searched. I have 1 more action. I'm going to move over here. There's nothing to react. Tension phase. Bam. All clear. All right, Jill's turn. She's spending her first 2 actions to come into this tile. We triggered a yellow encounter. Rolling on the yellow encounter thing, I rolled the Raccoon City symbol. Awesome. And by awesome, I mean, oh crap. God, I'm so not set up for this. I'm spawning a hunter beta. And the hunter beta is super nasty. So he's coming in here and he's going to be at the closest spawn point. The closest spawn point is, again, where you have the nuclear symbol. And make sure I say that exactly right. And that's a problem. So we're going to look at his behavior card. How does he act? Well, hunter beta is a level 5 enemy. He he has a movement of 2. He has 3 health. He has a base attack, or if he's in an adjacent spot, so range 1, he will do 1 damage to you if you fail your dodge roll. The second attack he has is if the top card in the discard pile, so at this point that would be the one that I just pulled from Mikhail, has a purple. His means that it has a more extreme attack where he's, excuse me, I'm about to have a coughing fit. I'm so upset about the hunter beta that I just had to, cough some fur balls out. Clearly, he will actually attack range 2. He will move into your spot before he attacks, and he will do 3 damage. Fortunately, this is not a purple because that would be super bad. Again, I have very little firepower, so me getting a hunter beta right off the bat doesn't make me exactly happy, and I only have 2 more actions. And I need this. I need that blue because I need help. That blue. I need that B because I definitely need the help, and it's a bad idea for me to go back to the flooded tile. I just don't have much of a shot of killing this dude, especially where I'm standing, and I do have 2 more actions. So, man, do I try to kill this dude? One idea is I could try to get down to this thing and escape and kind of lock him in. But of course, when I get into this room, guess what? I'm rolling on the orange table, and that could be also pretty terrible. So me killing him is not a good idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 1, and with my 4th action, it was 2 actions to get in, 1 to move, and then I'm going to search and grab this B item and then hope I get some good evade rolls. Remember, Jill has some really strong evade abilities and that she's rolling 2 dice. Mikhail's only going to roll 1, so hopefully this works out. Now, the item I got is a scenario item. It is the rear gate key. It unlocks the rear gate. Where's the rear gate? Well, the rear gate is this card over here. So if I can get into the stairwell, I can go up there. I can unlock that. It's something to consider. But I get a whole lot more going on down here as well. Am I missing a door? No, I'm not. Ooh. Ooh, and ooh. There's 2 A items there. I definitely want those. We'll see. All right, so that was the end of her 4 actions. Now, in the attack phase, this hunter is in range to attack me, so it's going to attack me from where it is. It has a medium base. It has a base that takes up 2 spots. There are essentially 4 spots in each tile. So, right, if I had 4 zombies in one tile, that's fine. They all fit. I could not fit a 5th. It's pretty intuitive the way that works. But now, since it's a medium base, if it was a small base, I would be able to evade it with any 3 of these symbols. So I have that arrow, I have that arrow, and I have that arrow. However, since it's a medium base, I'm only going to successfully evade it if I roll that or that. So I'm going to roll 2 dice because that's what she rolls on evade rolls. I rolled 2 strong evades, so I avoided all damage. And the best part is that sucker, because it was in range to attack, it doesn't come into my location, which will give me a chance to escape it and get the heck out of there next turn. We go to the tension phase, splintering wood. That's probably not great. So the sound is muffled but unmistakable. Flip the closest barricade to show an archway. If there are no barricades in the playing area, place the closest non-locked, non-one-way door with an archway. Are there any barriers? So there are doors, open doors, archways, which are basically these, or the other side of these are barricades. Now the art of those should have been a little clearer. I think they went form over function a little bit too much with some of the design choices here. Though, what is the closest barrier? The closest barrier I think is here, because everything else that you see is either an archway or a door. So, and there's none, that's a door over there. So I don't know if it's supposed to go across levels like that. I think it does. So I'll put this here. Now note, if the city level had been a little bit higher, we would have had to spawn a zombie in that door as well. Fortunately, we that is not the case. Now there are some scenarios where you're taking archways and you're fixing them and putting back the barriers and stuff like that. That is we need like a toolbox for that, but again, that's not going to be part of the scenario. So that will pretty much stay an archway and an open door for the rest, or an open pathway for enemies for the rest of the scenario, and that's not great. Now look, one of the things I should say at some point is there's one of the reasons I like this game is I really like the way it works with stealth. I do feel often like you are, really trying to sneak around and avoid the enemies. I know Burn Circle gets a lot of love. I played Burn Circle twice. It's not really for me. Like it just doesn't work for me. I just don't find it I don't know. Compared to other chip theory games, this is not great. I mean, if I want a stealth game, like I would 100% recommend this. There are some scenarios where you really feel like you're just like moving down a hallway getting chased by zombies, and you have to and you're really worried about like closing doors and opening doors and moving actions and like trying to sneak around while conserving as much ammo as you can. I think it's just the best stealth game I've ever played for me, and there could be thematic reasons for that and stuff like that. It just really really works for me on a lot of levels. All right, so that was the end of her turn. We did her tension phase. We can now move on to Mikhail's turn. What's Mikhail doing? Well, Mikhail's going to go 1. Now I could come down here. I see this like fixed event. I think that looks like a bad idea, so we're not going to mess with that right now. Because I'm like, I see some drain demos down here. Like, this seems too easy. That can't be good. They told me to get the Nemesis level 2 cards out. Yeah, dude, none of that sounds good to me. So I'm just gonna move 1 and not gonna go for that door right now. I'm gonna go 2 and open up this door, and then I will go ahead and enter here with 3. I'll have 1 action left. I have to roll on the yellow encounter table. I rolled a 5. That's probably better. All right, I spawn 1 zombie. It's gonna spawn at the closest nuclear symbol, and Grave Wind. Open the closest non-locked, non-one-way door. The closest non-locked, non-one-way door is this one. Now, it doesn't trigger the narrative event that's there. I'd have to actually step on that, but it does mean that that thing is indeed open. I'm like using all my ammo with Mikhail. There are 2 A's over there, so that makes me a little bit happy. There's also a, what the heck did they call that? They call that a barrel, I think. They call that the explosive barrel. Correct. So there is an explosive barrel in there, which will help if I spawn any enemies in this part of the world. So with my 4th action, I will try to kill this dude, because why not? So I'm going to spend 2 more bullets. The first bullet gives me a red and a blue because that's what's on the card. The second bullet gives me just a blue. And I rolled just 1 push. Woof. So again, evade, and a push. So I rolled, well, that symbol, which for the Eagle 6.0 means a push, so I just pushed that 1 space. That was my last action. In the reaction phase, this dude's like, roar, and that's what he does. And in the tension phase, I draw a card, Vigor Mortis. Bloodshot eyes, unable to hide their hunger, your foes snap their teeth and rake feverishly at your skin. Enemies on the same tile as this character immediately perform a reaction. Again, he's within range 1, but the zombie, unlike the hunter, is only going to attack when it's on your space. It has a 0 range. So its reaction phase, since it can't attack, is actually just going to move. And now it's in my space, which is super annoying that I missed it when I tried to kill him. But, this too shall pass. All right, that is the end of my turn. And now we're good. The good thing is, like, both of our heroes, they're not triggering reactions off of each other, because so this, there's no connected tile ish situation. When the heroes are like close together, that starts to get really interesting. And I do think if you're playing with 3 or 4 players, that would be one reason to play it with 3 or 4, even solo, because you kind of start seeing that interplay of like, oh, I'm here too. So after my turn, those enemies will do reactions. So they're going to attack you on my turn and your turn. And like health starts to become a lot harder to manage. But when you have a split board like this, where one hero's here, one hero's there, when you're only playing 2 characters, it is a little easier to avoid those situations. Now, when they are together, you're doing a lot of like, well, let me close that door so they don't have a reaction on my turn. And so, again, you're kind of trying to keep the other hero alive when it's not their active turn and they can't do anything about, these zombies surrounding them. We're going back to Jill. Jill's going to move 1. She's moving 2. This is the active tension deck card, so it's not purple. I guess we don't have to worry about that really bad attack. But I think I just have to keep moving with hers. Yeah, so she's going to move. So she moved 1. She opened the door with 2. She moves 3. We're going to trigger an encounter on the amber die. So I have our special black die here, the amber table, not the amber die. I rolled a 4. We spawn 2 zombies at the closest symbol. Now you never spawn zombies where you're standing, which is like pretty clear. That's in all situations, so I don't have to worry about spawning them where I am. But I spawn these zombies here. I have 2 more action. No, I have 1 more action. I'm just going to close this door, and we're going to keep this hunter out the way. Could zombies enter stairwell tiles? I don't know. That's a good question. Stairwells allow us to move between a character in the same square as a stairwell. May do. Enemies cannot use stairwells, but I'm assuming they can walk on top of that tile. It doesn't say they can't move on them. So we now go to the reaction phase. This guy is now cut off from me, so he's on a connected tile, but not really. It's only connected if it's like linked in the sense that it's open, so he's just going to chill now. And then these zombies, they're not in a place to attack, so they're just going to move 1. They're going to get on top of that stairwell because they smell lunch. Jill smells great. She smells super delicious, and those zombies just want to eat her face. That's a thing. So the tension card. Oop, I knocked over the zombies. They're pissed at me now. That's how they express their anger. And now we have an all clear. So Mikkel, what's he going to do? Mikkel's just going to try to ignore this dude. So he's going to try to do an action. So he's declaring, hey, I want to move here. However, the zombie's like, not so fast, big boy. I'm a zombie. And so Mikkel's going to have to do an evade roll if he wants to actually carry out that move. So we're going to roll a blue die. He only rolls 1 die for evading. I did successfully evade. I can carry out my action. Had I failed, what would have happened is, since I was in the same space as the zombie would have attacked me. I would have taken the damage. But after you get successfully attacked upon, you can then push. The thing is too, like normally you can try to do an evade to avoid an attack. If I try to do an action in the same square as a zombie and I fail, I have no chance of evading that damage. I'm taking that damage either way. So the good news is I rolled again half the time I was succeeding because there's only 1 small base, so a half of this die gives me a successful evade. So I successfully moved with my first action. My second action moves here, my third action moves here, my fourth action moves here. Zombie reaction phase. And now it's my turn to pull another tension card. We have cornered. Woof. Alright. A vicious snarl sends a shiver down your spine as you realize your foe has found you once more. Locate the tile closest to the active character where there are enemies but no characters. This is this tile over here. We're going to remove the enemy on the tile with the highest threat level and place them on the character's tile on the closest spawn space. So it's going to go from there over to here. And I guess that's not really a nuclear symbol, but it looks like one to me. So we're going to keep going with that. So I just take any one of those 3 dollars, so they're all the same level, and it comes there. Now, had there been a hunter on that tile, the hunter is indeed a higher level enemy. The zombie dogs are only a level 2. The zombies themselves are only a level 1. And the hunter bee is a level 5. The hunter Y is a level 4, even though they give poison. That seems not accurate, but what do I know? We are going to go to Jill's turn. Jill's like, I got all these zombies in my face, and that's super annoying. And she's trying to save all the ammo she can, and she's really good at evading, so she doesn't feel too much of a need to try to kill these dudes. It's just 2 zombies. They're fine. I really want those I want those items. I feel a need for items. Well, let's look at where I'm at. This is kind of a dead end, right? But it gets me close to a typewriter, which could be helpful. This is also kind of a dead end. So I'm being like forced into this stairwell now that I'm taking a look at how this map is set up. Because the really only way into this section, so this tile, no, that's not a dead end. I was lying. I am a big fat liar. Yeah, because this actually moves into there. So I really want to get these A items first to give myself max options. I don't know if I want to mess with these 2 suckers though. Oof. They've got a lot going on there. So what's stairwell 2? Stairwell 2 would get me here. I don't know what's going on with this scenario, man. This feels a little... It's a little weird. He can't get the stairwell 1 because the rear gate key was that B. Where's the other B? B, it's up there. Ha! So she really needs to get the stairwell 1 to unlock that door for him, is what really needs to happen. But let me unlock that door. I get the stairwell 2, which is there. I mean, like, it seems like I can cut off like all of this, which I'm not sure of the point. Yeah, I'm not sure the point of this whole part of the map, to be quite honest. And I feel like I can go this whole thing without triggering that event. Where's the C item? Oh, the C item's here. Right, that's what I need. So it does say, think carefully about collecting the system disk, or there, that makes sense. All right. So they're basically daring you to try to get that C item. So it says, think carefully about collecting the system disk. Now, the C item is the system disk. I know that. Or leaving it behind. This choice will have repercussions later on. That makes sense. So basically, this whole part of the map exists because of that C item. That makes more sense. Obviously, I would try to get it. I'm assuming I will regret it if I don't. So, Jill, Mike James, hey Greg, I was gonna give you a hard time about setup choice, but thought you might miss the joke via text. Laugh out loud. Good luck on the game, sir. Duty calls. Maybe I'll get back before the end. Sounds good, sir. All right. I'm confused. All right. What do I want to do? Jill's gonna move 1, 2. I think I just enter. I don't want those 2 zombies. Again, if there's 2 of them, my evade rolls, I'm going to only succeed a third of the time on each die. So she's going to open this 3. So you notice I just evaded them. And then 4, I'm entering here. I have to roll on the yellow table. And please do not spawn another Hunter B or sliding worms. Oh, these are terrible. A 2, 4, 5, or 6. Oh, 2s. They're all 4's pretty awful. These are awful. These are awful. Awful, awful. I don't like them. Do I try to kill these guys? All right, Jill's going to try to kill because she's tired of this crap. So she's going to go 1, 2. She's going to use the ammo. I mean, there are some like strategically real decisions in this game that I like. So we're shooting at both those zombies on whatever. I mean, if I hit one, I can't kill them both. I can only attack one enemy at a time. and I got 2 evade rolls, but that is a successful hit. So this one's dead. The other one, every tile on every other enemy on that tile or a link tile performs a reaction. So he's like, "No, you killed my friend," and he comes over here. That's how he sounds. And I think I'm gonna try to kill him too. We're gonna do 2 more ammo. Let's see what happens. I do kill him. I got a push, a damage. Again, those are using the symbols on the eagle and a evade roll. This sucker is dead as well. I think that was the right play. Now I could have just stayed there, but I didn't want to like miss the first time. Then they're both in my space and I start taking damage. So I decided to get some space between them and then shoot at them twice. You could either way. Reaction phase, nothing happening, and then we pull the all clear. So I have 5 cards there. Once I get a 5th card there, then I'll take all 10 off. I think it just helps me monitor the tension deck and make sure I'm doing all of that correctly. Mikhail is like, I have a stupid dog to worry about now. So he's going to shoot 2 ammo. Missed. Yikes. The dog is still a range 0 attack in the reaction phase. He has a special attack for his or out of sequence reactions. For his actual reaction phase, that's what we care about. That out of sequence reactions, we don't worry about this. So the dog's going to move there and there. So the dog just moves because I missed it, and then every other enemy also moves. Now note, you can only attack something in your space, so I can't actually attack this explosive barrel because there's a zombie dog on my space, and that's not great. But I do want to kill this zombie dog, and I'm just really having a hard time doing it. But we'll see what happens now. So I'm going to actually shoot again. So I'm down to 7 ammo on my handgun. So again, the first ammo gives me a red and a blue. The second ammo gives me another blue. I do finally, nope, I don't. I missed again. That's not a damage, but I have 2 pushes. So I can push this thing twice. 1, 2, and then this sucker comes in once. My third action, I just want to be done with these guys. I'm going to spend 1 ammo and shoot this explosive barrel. That's good. It does. Explosive barrels do not do damage to the heroes. They're just very good at hitting the barrel in the right way, so it explodes away from them. It's impressive. They pulls both the zombie and the zombie dog. It basically does 1 damage to everything in an adjacent square and 3 damage to anything in that square itself. And at least I just don't have to deal with them now. I don't have to worry about them coming up behind me because, again, I don't know what's going to be in that encounter. Hopefully I'll get some bullets in either of those A items. It is what it is. And now I have 1 more action, which I could just move there. Reaction phase, there's nothing on that tile. And tension phase, we pull this. Tough hide. The undead are unaffected by even the most mortal wounds. Their terrible thirst undiminished. For 1 round, zombies, so only zombies, doesn't apply to the other enemies. I don't think. I think it just say enemies at that point. Zombies which are killed are replaced with corpses, which again isn't that bad unless you roll 6s when you're on top of a corpse, and then it's terrible. We're gonna go to Jill's turn. Jill's gonna go 1, 2. She's just opening this door. She does not want to enter this turn. Reaction phase, nothing. Especially with tough hide. Now tough hide's still in play for 1 round, so I'll just keep that out. So 1, 2, 3. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, bam. Rabid growl. Blood drains from your face as fevered growling emerges from the shadows. Spawn a zombie dog on this tile on the closest spawn space. That sucker's gonna go right there. We go to Mikhail's turn. Mikhail's gonna go 1, 2. How do I feel about this? There's a lot of things I don't want in there, but I want to keep moving. So 3, we roll on the amber table. Give me a 6, a 4, 2 zombies at the closest thing. And that's perfect. I'm just going to spend 1 ammo, hit this explosive barrel, and make those zombies go bye-bye. So explosive barrels can be huge in the right circumstances. Oh, wait. For 1 round, zombies were killed or replaced with corpses. So we just get 2 corpses on the table instead, which is a good trade-off. I will accept. Tension phase or reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, that flips, all clear. Tough Hide is now no longer in play, and we can go to Jill's turn. Jill is like, I don't want to deal with this stupid zombie dog, but we're going to have to come back through this room. I think she's just going to try to kill it because zombie dogs are annoying. So we're going to spend 2 ammo. I'm rolling a red and 2 blues. Remember, she does have this extra handgun bullets. They're not the greatest, but they can do the trick in a pinch. We have a push 3. Woof. So I just got 3 push results, so they all do stack. Yeah, let's just push this. So 1, 2, 3. Second action, she's coming into here. That's going to mean I have to roll on the yellow thing. On the yellow table, I rolled a 5, 1 zombie. Oh, that's terrible. That's really bad. So I got 1 zombie and open the closest non-locked, non-one-way door, which is over here. That's a problem. I have 2 more actions. Fortunately, it's orange. It's not it's orange. It's blue that's in play. Sajid was telling me how I'm struggling with colors these days. It's an accurate statement. And I'm going to go 3 and 4 because I want to close that door again. I want to keep that guy out of my life. In the reaction phase, this zombie is going to move 1. It's on a link tile. This zombie dog is going to move 1 and 2. Or I could it'll go in the center. It's the same thing. Center is probably better for it. Remember, notice it couldn't go this way because that's going across the wall. It has to go through the door and then move there. So it is going to be something I'm going to need to do with this turn. And this is now also on a link tile. It's going to go 1, 2 because it only has a movement of 2. So I'm very much trying to shut the door on him again. I think it's worth the extra actions it's taking me because I do not want to deal with it. I do not have the firepower. Now, if I had some shotgun shells, sure, smash that sucker, but I don't. So we did the reaction phase. Everything moved 1, and now the tension phase. All clear. Good. There is a card that gives them extra reactions. That could have been super bad, but fortunately we avoided that. McAllister, he's coming here. 1, 2, grabbing a card from the A deck. It is Gunpowder B. This increases the character's shotgun or Western M37 by 3 dial points. I wish I had these switched now in hindsight, but alas, discard a Gunpowder A when using this item to increase the ammunition to full. That's my second action. My third action is here. My fourth action is here. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, it's an all clear. Jill's turn. She comes here. She recloses this door. One, 2. I think we try to kill the zombie dog again. Red and 2 blues. I push 3 times. 1, 2, 3. This guy is like, hi! That was 3. I have 1 more action. I'm going to try to kill the zombie. I'm down to 7 ammo. This is not going well, but I have an idea. So, hey, I killed the zombie. He's dead. The dog reacts though. 1, 2. And now we go to that was 4. We go to reaction phase. The dog now comes into my space. Hello, pups. What's up? So reaction phase was done. When the dog moved, we go to the tension phase. It's an all clear. Mikhail's turn. He's going to get this tile. Gets an A card. Handgun bullets. Oh, how do I like to see it? That's nice. So he's getting close to his item limit. I'll put some stuff up here. Shotgun for sure. So he's at 5 items. He's got 3 more actions. He'll go 1, 2, and we're going to use the handgun bullets as my 4th action because I have the action, and we go from 5 ammo up to 13. So those handgun bullets were very timely for sure. There is a little bit of predictability in items. I wouldn't mind getting a green herb because I am a little worried that at some point I'm going to start taking some damage. I've been very lucky to not take any damage yet. Reaction phase, nothing on the same or linked tiles. Tension phase, bam, all clear. Jill is really sick of this dog. She's going to try to kill it one more time. And she fails. Not only does she fail, she doesn't even push it. So it does 1 damage to me, but now I can push it off. She's going to try to kill it again. Because I'm using 3 bullets. I'm using my last 3 bullets on my handgun. So I'm rolling 3 blues and a red. There we go. I pushed it 3 times, but alas, I also killed it. So it's dead. We only took 1 damage in the process. We have 2 more actions. We're going to go 1 and 2. No, we're going to go 1, and then she's going to spend these enhanced handgun bullets. Because this is an enhanced weapon, this is a mechanic from the expansion. Instead of discarding this and then adjusting my hand dial, instead I put it on top because now it actually gives new stats to my handgun. And it says reset this character's handgun ammunition dial to 15, then cover the weapon's attack profile with this card. So I only roll 1 blue die. I don't have the option of rolling additional dice. And if I get what would have been a push symbol is now a hit, and if it would have been a damage symbol, it's now 1 damage and a push. So it's just a different kind of thing, but we get a full 15 ammo there. But again, I'm only hitting half the time. Those are not the strongest of weapons. It's not the strongest of things by any means. But those are her 4 actions. We only took 1 damage. Everything's fine. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, sounds outside. If this character leaves their current tile during the next turn, their player must draw 2 additional tension cards. That's not a good thing. So groans echo through the open windows, and hands clutched at the glass lay low until they're gone. So we are pretty much stuck there. Again, Jill is not doing much, and she's not doing much fast, if that makes sense. Mikhail, what's Mikhail doing? Mikhail's going to open this door. We have a narrative event there, but before we deal with that, this is a green tile, so we're not going to have any encounters, which is nice. It's the first green tile in a while. I mean green tile from here. So we didn't have to put any encounter tokens there. But we have an encounter, we have an event symbol. I still have 2 events from the original campaign. I went through most of the events in the original campaign. And I don't know what those are. And I mean, beyond the fact that I played this, once before. This die is here. I'll just have her standing in the stairwell. Look how tall I am. I don't like those zombie dogs, so we're going to try to kill them because I'm just killing everything now, apparently. Ammo be damned. So I'm going to shoot at this zombie dog because I have line of sight. We do get a damage symbol. This one does a reaction. It moves closer to me. And we're going to shoot at it again. I think I would like both of these suckers dead. And success. Mikhail is on fire. Sharpshooter, he has 1 more action. I'm not going to move into there because I don't know what that event is, and I don't want to trigger that until next turn. So that is fine. Those are my 4 actions. Reaction phase, I killed both the dogs, so we just pull a tension card, and it's an all clear. Jill can't do much because I don't want to draw 3 cards. It's not worth it. So she's just going to come here. No, I need to open that gate for Mikhail. So she's actually probably going to change course, get up there, open that gate, and then between the 2 of them, they'll get those A cards together. So she's not moving at all because it sounds outside. She can't really use these ammo cards. Well, I mean, I could spend an action a good 2 grenade ammo in my grenade launcher, but that seems like a bad use of that card. Hopefully I'll pick up a gunpowder A. So we're just going to end her turn. We go right to the tension phase. It's an all clear. Mikhail's going to spend his first action to enter this event spot. So since we enter an event spot, we're going to draw from the event deck. I only have 2 cards here, so I'm just going to roll a die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I rolled a 3. So we get the first one. It is Screams Ahead. A scream pierces the air, torn from a civilian as they flee the undead. Let them bait the monsters. Place this character on any square on an adjacent explored tile. Increase the city danger level by 1, or place 2 zombies, a corpse, and an item A token on the closest spawn spot. Woof. I do not have the ammo to deal with 2 zombies, a corpse, and an item A token. So I'm going to just let them bait the monsters. I'm just going to move here, which just sets me back 1, and increase the city level by 1. Now, if that had triggered from green to yellow in the middle of this, I might have rethought, or green to orange in the middle of this, I might have rethought that. But I'm kind of fine with this letting them bait the monsters. I'm sorry. Good luck in your. I hope your screaming does you well. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. So instead of me getting in the way of the monsters thematically, I let whoever was screaming, they're gonna be eaten, and then I'll have a clear path to go on. So presumably that meal already ended. I have 3 more actions. We go 1, 2, and 3, and there I am. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, lurching gait. We have propelled by some unnatural vigor. Your foes lurch forward at an alarming pace, snarling at the bay for blood. As they bay for blood. During I was like at the bay. We're at the bay now. No, as they bay for blood. During the next player's turn, all enemies move 1 extra square. Again, that's assuming there are enemies to move. We're gonna go to Jill's turn, and then it's only during the next player's turn. If we were in orange, it would be in play for an entire round. We're not in orange. We are still in green. So, Jill's going to spend her first action using the stairwell. She comes here. She now entered this tile. We have to roll on the yellow encounter table. Booyah, it's a 2. 2 zombies. That's fine. I was worried it'd be some of these worm things. These worm things give poison. Poison's really bad. I don't have the thing to counteract poison, and that would almost mean certain death. And I don't want to have certain deaths. So 2 zombies. So 1 zombie spawns at that spawn point. The other one's going to go on the other spawn point. If it says at the same, they spawn at the same. Otherwise, you spawn them separately. I have 3 more actions. I'm going to use my new enhanced bullets. So I'm only 50-50 to hit on these. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to roll 1 blue die against that guy because he's closest to me. I missed. So he does a reaction. He does a reaction. I'm going to now try to get the heck out of the way a little bit. So I'm going to try to move there. So I'm declaring that since I'm in the same space as a zombie, I have to roll, see if I evade. I don't evade. Of course, I rolled 2 damage. Instead, I take a damage. I can push. I have 1 more action. Woof. Man. This has gone poorly. 1 more action. Oh man, I can't keep taking damage with her. I don't. There's not enough things that are gonna heal. It's not great, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend the gunpowder C to increase my grenade launcher by 2 with my 4th action. So again, I entered. So this just gets spent. So I entered. I attacked this guy. I missed. So he moved. He moved. I went to move. I failed. So I took another damage, which I already had 1. I pushed him. This guy doesn't move because it wasn't an attack. And then in my 4th action, I just got 2 ammo into my shotgun. And now we go to the reaction phase. Both of these suckers are going to move here. So they can enter stairwell tiles. They just cannot use them. And I'm standing on a die like queen of the hill. That was rough. Reaction phase is done. Tension phase, what do we get? All clear. Mikhail's going to go 1. He's going to search. We're going to get this A item. What is it? It is the green herb. That could be great because I can give this. So herbs you can combine, but once you combine, you cannot uncombine. So, but I'm going to be able to give this to Jill, hopefully, and heal her up. And then move here. I can't get through that door because who has the key to that door? Well, Jill does, which is one of the reasons I really felt it was important to get the grenade launcher. We're going to do reaction phase, nothing reacting. Again, those are not linked yet. And then tension phase, all clear. Jill is using 1 of her grenades, and I'm 2/3 of the time going to kill both of these guys. So I'm attacking 1 of the zombies in my space. I got that symbol, which means 2 damage to each enemy in my space, because it has another symbol which kind of is like a burst symbol. So everyone in that space who's an enemy, so not me, takes 2 damage. Both of these zombies are dead. So I just grenade launch their asses before they could further reduce my health. My second action, I'm going here. Third action here. Fourth action, I'm unlocking the door. Once you unlock the door with a special key, the thing just comes away and now it behaves like a normal door for the rest of the campaign or the scenario. That was 4 actions, and we're done. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, we pull this, all clear. We go to Mikhail's turn. Mikhail is going to do a trade action with. Oh, man. I'm so hurting for ammo. Not good. All right, Mikhail's going to do a trade action with Jill. So he's going to give her the herbs. He's going to take the Western custom. And now when she heals, because she has a green herb, that gives her 1 level of healing, and the red herb, since it's combined, would give her an additional 2. So it's effectively the 3 that you would get from a first aid kit. So when she gets 1 more damage, I will use that. I'm going to not use the gunpowder B just yet. I think that makes sense. Guys, use the gunpowder B now to give me 3 bullets for the Western custom, but I think it makes more sense just to kind of hopefully I get a gunpowder A from there, or there. That was 1 action. My second action, I'm moving here. So first action was trade. Second action is I'm moving. Third action, I'm moving here. I roll on the die. I did roll the symbol, which means that that corpse that I just landed on is now a zombie. And the fourth action is I'm going to try to kill that corpse. It's in the same location as me, so that's super dangerous. I'm going to spend 3 ammo and hopefully just kill it. Booyah, I did kill it. The blue dice did nothing for me, but the red die came through in the end. Booyah. The blue dice only have 1 out of 6 chance of actually getting a damage. The red dice only have a 2 out of 6. So the blue dice, the math was of that as I really just wanted to give myself maximum chance of killing it. You can only spend 2 additional ammo, so it's not like I could have 15 ammo and I could spend. I can't roll like 12 blue dice and a red die. The most blue dice I can roll would be 3 whenever you have that symbol. So those are my 4 actions. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, it's an all clear. Jill's gonna go 1. She's gonna search. Act surprised. It is special shotgun shells. Oh, and when I traded, since I took the Western, I would have given Jill this too. Because again, I knew those were coming out. So reset this character shotgun ammunition to 6. And then again, I'm rolling 2 red dice, but shotguns normally do a lot of damage. This is you're rolling 2 dice. Now they could stack, but each individual success on a hit would only be 1 damage each. Now there is also the potential for a burst where it affect all enemies in the same square. But it's an interesting thing. So again, this is from the expansion. It just kind of changes these enhanced weapons. I'm not sure I like them because they're guaranteed they're more likely to do damage, but they don't have some of the other benefits that you start to rely on the more you play this game. So it does kind of force you to think differently about each of the individual weapons. So and from that sense, it's pretty cool. So 1, I move. 2, I grab the weapon. 3, I'm going to use this for this shotgun. So my shotgun ammo over here is now 6 with the enhanced shotgun shells. And 4, we're moving toward the stairwell. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, bloody trail. Sinister trails of blood stain the floor, leading off in every direction. Place a wound token next to any unexplored tokens on all adjacent tiles. When an unexplored token with a wound token is removed, subtract 1 from the roll to a minimum of 1, or the Raccoon City symbol. If no, is it Raccoon City? Maybe it's not Raccoon City. Is it Umbrella City? Maybe I'm saying the wrong thing. I think it's an umbrella. I think I'm saying the wrong symbol. I am obviously not a Resident Evil 3 aficionado, but I mean, other than the game, I like the game. If no adjacent tiles have unexplored tokens, spawn a zombie on this tile. There are no adjacent tiles with unexplored tokens, so we just spawn a zombie, and it's going to spawn on the closest spawn point. It doesn't spawn where there are heroes, so it's just going to spawn over there. Do I even want to waste ammo on killing this guy? No, I really don't. So we're going to go to Mikhail's turn. So Mikhail's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's nothing here to react, so we're going to draw a tension card on Mikhail's turn. All clear. Jill's turn. Again, now they're no longer, they're not linked through the stairwell. They're only linked through adjacency. So the fact that I was able to get Mikhail off that tile meant that that dude doesn't have a reaction phase. And now Jill's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna get both those A items. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, destructive rage. The sound of an enemy roaring and thrashing around its surroundings reaches your ears. Locate the closest item A token and roll the encounter die. On a umbrella corporation symbol or whatever the heck that is, a 2 or a 3, you remove the token from the tile. I rolled a 4, so both those tiles remain. Excellent. We go to Mikhail's turn. He's going 1, 2, 3, and searching. We're going to get an A item. What is it? It is grenade rounds. That's good. Remember, what's her name? Jill still has a grenade launcher, so we can give her 4 more ammo. Definitely getting some ammo, which is helpful. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, all clear. Jill's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, dead. Rising. The dead do not rest easy in Raccoon City. Roll the encounter die. If I roll a 1 or that symbol, I rolled a 6. If I rolled a 1, again, a little bit of ambiguity here. It says if that is rolled, replace each corpse in this tile with a zombie. If there are no corpses on this tile, spawn a corpse on the closest thing. It's unclear if those two things are related. I am assuming that you only put a corpse on that tile if I rolled the symbol. But there's a space there, so I'm like, do you always put that thing there, or do you only put it there if you roll? I'm assuming you only put a thing there if you roll, because it just kind of makes more mechanical sense. But I think that could have used some more explanation. There are some things about this game that are just a little sloppy in a way that's a little jarring at times. But again, nothing game breaking or awful, but there are definitely things there that just probably should have been a wee bit more precise in their language. Now I'm taking stock of this deck. This deck is getting a little bit low, not awful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm going to need to use this ink reel at some point soon. That's going to be a good spot for it. So I'm like, all right, I should be able to get there, get a big deck back, and see if there's any items in there that I want to mess with. The only other 2 typewriters, or there's one that was here, so there made no sense to use the ink reel then, and again, both players have access to this ink reel. So it's not like in their inventories. And then this one is here, but that's all the way through both of these hunters, and that'd be pretty rough. So Mikhail's turn. Mikhail's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's heading toward that tile. Remember, this guy is still trapped behind that door, so it's keeping him at bay has been really, really helpful. Reaction phase, tension phase, that's 10 cards. We will kind of put these off the side. Slaking, how do you remember all the rules of these? That's a good question. Slaking, how do you remember all the rules of all these different board games? Yeah. I think the more you play games, the easier that gets, but it's rough. I mean, I definitely think learning games has gotten a little harder for me because I have so many ideas in my head, or there's times where I'll like remember a rule wrong from the wrong game. But I just think it's repetition, finding devices that work. You notice how many times I use reminder tokens or like stupid things of like 5 and 5, like just remembering, just making sure I'm doing everything right. Um, the more intuitive the rules, the better. I think always trying to think like why. Why would the designer choose to do that? What are they trying to encapsulate in the theme and in the story? That's really helped me with. I mean, especially it really helped me with Maze Knight for a long time. It still helps me with Spirit Island. It's like, what is happening here? Like, what am I actually doing? And then once you know the why, then it's like again, the more you can make the rules intuitive, the less you really have to remember, because it's just that just makes sense. That's a thing that's happening now. All right, Jill. Jill is going to search. We're getting this token off. We get this out. It is a red herb. Man, another red herb is not the thing of dreams. There's a lot of ammo in that deck. There's a lot. I mean, I would even take a green herb. You know, it is what it is. I got 2. I mean, the one red herb is nice because now I can heal 3 when she takes another damage. But it's a little bit of a disappointing pull for sure. I mean, an gunpowder A would be great, but now she's moving 1, 2, and 3. because again, first action was to search, last 3 actions were to do that. Reaction, tension, all clear. We're gonna go to McAllister. McAllister's going 1, 2. He enters here. I have to roll on the amber table. It's a 6. Beautiful. 2 zombies. They both are going to go here because neither one's going to spawn on my location. And then Grave Wind. Open the closest non-locked, non-one-way door. That is here. So this guy is still staying locked up there. And we open the door to where I want to go anyway. Just saved me an action later. I'm tempted to try to draw these zombies out here. And maybe we just kind of lock them. Oh, that's an archway. So never mind. I'm tempted to not make any sense. Ah, man. I'm just running so low on ammo with McCall. Jill has some good ammo for this though. The shotgun that could potentially do 1 damage to each. She's got the enhanced eagle eye stuff. I think we're gonna back up with McCall. I don't want to get in here and then these guys come in here and trap me up. That's gonna be super annoying. So we're just gonna go 3, 4 reaction phase. These guys come here. Tension phase. We get unnatural strength. The undead grasp at you unexpectedly, fingers snatching your clothes to pull you close for 1 round. Characters cannot push zombie enemies after failing an evade roll. So yeah, I'm glad I'm not gonna have to deal with that because that could be super bad for Mikhail. Because again, his evasion, he's only rolling 1 die for his evasion, so he will fail a lot of evade rolls if I start getting tangled up with 2 zombies at once. Jill's gonna go 1, 2, 3. And 4. The zombies are going to come here. On the reaction phase, tension phase, we pull an all clear. Mikhail is going to take. Nope. I mean, that could work, but that's too good. That's too good. That's also too good. Yeah, Mikhail's gonna trade. I'm gonna take this eagle eye. So we'll switch these ammos. And then we're going to give her the grenade rounds in the same action because I want her to have those anyway. This rear gate key is kind of useless, so I'm going to put it off to the side, but it's her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She has 7 inventory slots that are full of the 8. Now my second action is I'm going to shoot with this new enhanced bullet. So again, we're down to 13. I'm only going to hit half the time. I miss, so they both do a reaction. I just have to kill both of these guys. I'm going to use my third action. I'm going to use the gunpowder. Increase this. For 1 round, I cannot push after failing an evade roll. So stupid. Yeah, I don't love it. I'm going to use gunpowder B. I really don't like these enhanced bullets. They've not worked for me, like, ever. On camera, off camera. It's like just incessant coin flips. So gunpowder B, you know there's going to be a gunpowder A just to spite me. So we're going to use that, get 3 shotguns, and now I'm going to use the Western Custom. I'm rolling 2 red dice against both those zombies. Great, I do 2 damage to each. They're both dead, and now we have a clear path, which will give us plenty of time to do what we want to do here. and we'll see how I want to get around these two suckers now that I am using up more ammo than I want to. So reaction phase, tension phase, all clear. We're good to go. Jill, 1, 2, 3, and 4. No. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, it might make sense to try to see what's in these two rooms here too. Before we use the ink reel, we'll see. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, all clear. Mikhail's 1, 2, 3, and 4. At least we'll see what's in this room. I think that'll make some sense. That's his turn. Reaction, nothing. Tension, all clear. Jill's turn. She is going to search. We get this A item. It's Magnum bullets. Oh, hello. Well, she's going to get the Magnums. So that's her first action. Second action, she's going to spend the grenade rounds to get 4 more bullets into her grenade launcher. So this is up to 5 ammo. Third action, she's going to trade the Magnum bullets to Mikhail because he's directly adjacent to her. And that will make some sense. All right, we have some ammo. We might be able to kill these guys easier than I'm fearing. And her fourth action is she's moving there. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, all clear. Mikhail's going 1, 2. Is going to get the Magnum out of there. As an action, we're an adjacent square to our storage container. So that was 3. And then 4 is going to load the Magnum up, increase the character's Magnum ammunition by 3 points. So now we get the Magnum dial and whatever. Now, all these weapons are weapons that I picked up in the base game in a scenario. So, like, there might be different might be different ammo types, but the weapons, it's like the Magnum, the shotguns, the grenade launchers, the Western Custom, those are all things we got in the initial campaign. So that is done. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, it's an all clear. So now on Mikhail's next turn, we're adjacent to that. We'll definitely just use the ink reel and get it done. And you know what? Just for the sake of being super cautious in case we get tongue up here for a long time and we know there's another typewriter there, I will get the other ink reel and keep it in Mikhail's little inventory. There are not a lot of more items left to be found anyway, except like this one, which is fine. So again, I just went back in time, a little revisionist history. When I spent an action to interact with the storage, I could take as many items as I want out of there, again, up to my character's item limit. So I just grabbed the ink reel as well. Going to the chat. Hello, Greg. Lum was pleased with a sticker next to her photo. What's up, David? That's hilarious. Lee, what's up? Maybe being a poker dealer previously helped with focus sequences, which translates over. Happy New Year, all. Also, thank you, Rocket. Happy New Year to you as well. Sajid, well, hello. Yet another new way to die from the oncoming zombie attacks. Sold. So I'm very confused about Steamforged. So Steamforged, again, they released a Resident Evil game. Then there was Resident Evil 2, which had a lot of problems from what I understand. Then Resident Evil 3 was supposed to be the best of the system. And then they just launched last year Resident Evil, which I mistakenly thought was like a reprint of the original and I had no interest in. And then it turns out, no, that's a new game, which is supposed to be really, so I guess they're following like the titles of like the video game series, but I think that was like it's a weird marketing choice because like the other Resident Evils weren't all that beloved. Like people really like this game, it seems like the most. So I don't know. I think they could have I don't know what they could have done, but it's a little weird, like the naming. But yeah, there's a new Resident Evil coming out, which is supposed to be an improvement on this system. But there's like also reprints of this and Resident Evil 2, whatever. This is the only one I own. It's probably the only one I'm gonna own for some time. You know, if Steamforged wanted to send me others, like I'd have that conversation. Like I'm very much like staying a little bit away from like long campaign games as much as I love this game. This is a top, I don't know if it's top 10 anymore, but it's definitely still top 15 for sure ish. You know, um, this is a really fun game. Like playing through this campaign again, like this is the last 2 years in a row where I've just like replayed through a campaign I wanted to replay through. Last year was Results of the Lion. This is Resident Evil 3. So I do this around like Christmas, New Year's time, and it's been like late night when the family's asleep. I'll just play a couple scenarios. Like I've really enjoyed playing through this again. Like it reminded me like why I like this game so much and why I was so high on it last April. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where I go with the system and how many more Resident Evils I pick up. This scenario has been interesting. There's a lot of moving parts. I do think the first two scenarios of the expansion were like the best. You got like elevators and like it was nuts. There's some really cool ideas that were built into it. This is much more similar to the original, except you're seeing the enhanced weapon types and you're seeing again new enemies and monster types, which for the most part I've just basically hid this guy behind a wall instead of messing with him too much. But I digress. Jill's going to enter here with her first action. Remember, that is an archway. And we're going to roll on the amber encounter table. A 3. Oh, gross. 2 sliding worms. Oh, that doesn't make me happy. So I have 3 more actions. I hate these worms. Have I told you how much I hate these worms? We're just going to get the heck out of Dutch. So the worms are interesting. They move 3. And they only, when they attack you, the only thing they do is they poison you. And poison's bad because what poison does is it means that at the beginning of every tension phase, you just lose the damage automatically. The counteraction to that is when they attack you, they die. If they attack you and you already have poison, then you take a damage. But poison's awful unless you get blue herbs. But I haven't got blue herbs. I got 2 red herbs and a green, and there's only 2 blue herbs in the deck. I do think they should have probably put a couple more in there and told you to take the red herbs out, because that just seems like getting poisoned by these suckers is just a non-starter. I do not have the attacks that I want to even risk with these guys. So I'm just going to move back 3, 1, 2, 3, and then hang out here with my buddy Mikhail. Again, we're about to refresh the tension deck anyway, so I'm kind of fine with that. And this also is give the advantage they're both going to move to the same spot because they're both going to move 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That was the reaction phase, tension phase. We get an all clear. Victor, on his turn, is going to use a shotgun because we're just clearly using more ammo than I want. I'm like a broken record with that. I'm rolling 2 red dice because that's what it tells me on the card. And I do 2 damage to everything in one space. So they're both dead. So again, those area of effect attacks can be really nice. So that was my first action. My second action, I'm going to interact with this typewriter. The typewriter comes off the board, and I'm going to refresh the tension deck because it's a good time to do that. So I have no more ink reels, although I can spend an action to get another ink reel into my thing. So I'm going to shuffle all the tension cards back together. Sagittarius, wow, this is some high praise. Anyway, cannot stay along. Good luck. It's really good, man. I like it. Yeah, it's really good. I for as many people raving about the stealth of Burn Cycle, I don't feel it. I really don't. I like it a lot more here. I just like the chessy nature of it and the interplay, like seeing the 2 characters together and opening doors, closing doors, trying to prevent reactions. I think all of that is like super cool. You know, she comes back, now they move, we shoot them with 1 action. Lots of good stuff going on in this game for sure. So I still have these 2 big bads over here that I'm worried about. Plus, don't forget we have the drain demos over here. So it does seem like the way they've structured this scenario is that it's kind of left you're either taking on like this dude in, you know, on the bridge, and that could be awful because he has 30 health, and I mean, I just don't have what it takes to fight him. Or you're going to have to take on these 2 guys and 2 drain demos, and I would much rather take those 4 enemies on for sure, although there are also a bunch more encounters too. But I think those encounters are fine, and also this way gets me access to that C tile, and I would much prefer. I'm assuming that C tile is going to be rather important for sure. So we restructured the tension deck with that ink reel. I do not know mechanically what that represents. I'm assuming that's a carryover from the video game. So someone who knows the video game better can explain that to me for sure. But I have 2 more actions with Mikhail. He's going 1 and 2. Reaction phase, tension phase. Bam, it's an all clear. And I will just take this off the board. So I have, again, the 5 and the 5. It's just how my brain is used to playing this game. Jill's going 1, 2, 3, 4. Reaction, nothing. Tension, all clear. Mikhail's going 1, 2, and flipping. We're not going to enter because, he has no more actions left. Reaction. Oh, that's a problem. Remember that, what am I trying to say? There was a tension deck card that made that open. So by opening that door, both of these guys now have a reaction. But, I mean, honestly, I'm going to have to deal with them sooner. I'm going to have to deal with them at some point. So it is what it is. So this guy moves 2. Again, we're looking at the Hunter Wise. And this guy also moves 2. 1 and 2. Reaction is done. Tension is an all clear. Jill's turn. We're going to go here. We're going to roll on the amber encounter table. Or the yellow encounter table. It's like amber. It's just yellow. Booyah. I rolled a 4. I get a 1 zombie. It goes in the nearest thing and then lurch forward. All enemies on this tile and link tiles are form and move reaction. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1. I mean, they're going to be in my grill. Oh, this is the staff room, by the way. I had that thing in the wrong. Woof. That was her first. She has 3 more actions. Wow. I don't know what to do. So if I shoot this guy, both of these guys get 2 more, another reaction. Then they'll have another reaction. They have 4 health each, which is too much. I mean, they're really like making the idea of this circumventing all this super enticing. Right now they have an orange account, an amber encounter here, an amber encounter here, and 2 drain demos. If I take those stairs, I cut out those 2 amber encounters, and I could possibly take those stairs while avoiding having to deal with these hunters. And that's 9 damage plus whatever I spawn from the amber tile. All right, let me try to kill this 1 zombie. So we're rolling up 2 blues and a red because I switched my eagles. So he has Mikhail has the enhanced bullets. She took his thing, which only had 6 ammo left. So we did kill the zombie. So the zombie's dead. That gives a reaction to these guys, an out of sequence reaction. And again, they're only moving 2. I have 2 more actions. I don't think it makes sense to start piling damage on him yet. So we're just going to back up and we're going to close the door with my last 2 actions. Again, I moved in. Yeah, that's right, because he opened the door. So she moved in. She killed the zombie. She moved out. She closed the door. Reaction phase, they don't move. They are going to stay right where they are. We're going to do a reaction phase. All right, they don't move because the door is closed, so there's no longer connection. And then tension phase, it's an all clear. Mikhail's turn. He's opening the door, and he's going to fire a magnum, because naturally, what else would you do? Oh, this could be interesting. So we're firing the magnum. Hopefully this doesn't go poorly. I hit on a 5 out of 6 chance. Oh my gosh. uh, I am so predictable. I hit on a 5 out of 6 chance. So naturally, oh, that could have been so good too. That could have been so freaking good. All right. Well, I missed. The good thing is this isn't a purple or a yellow. It's still a blue, because then that's the active tension thing. Since I missed him, he's like, "Hello, I'm a big frog in your face," which is super special. And then this guy comes in here. Now I can't attack him while this guy's here, but I can consider just trying to like maybe ditching this guy and locking him in there. He's just doing 1 damage. I have 2 more actions. Woof. That was bad. All right. With 2 more actions, I'm going to try to move in here with Mikhail. I have to do an evade. It's a medium base, so I only have a 1 1/3 chance of succeeding at this. I fail, of course. It's an out of sequence attack, so I just 1 damage, but then I could push this into an adjacent space. Now with my 4th action, I'm moving into here. In the reaction phase, this guy's within range 1 of Jill, so he's attacking. She can try to evade. She rolls 2 dice. She succeeds. This guy's attacking Mikhail. He can roll 1 die to try to evade. He fails. He takes another damage. Now, the thing with you can only push if the enemy attacks you in the same space. I kind of like the mechanic. It's like you're struggling, you take some damage, but you push him away. So even though we took a damage here, I can't push this again because it's not in the same space as me when it attacked. Now we go to that was the reaction phase. We go to the tension phase, unnatural strength. The undead grasp you unexpectedly for 1 round. Zombie characters, you can't push them after failing an evade roll. These are not zombies; these are hunters. And I'm being very specific. I'm assuming that language is specific for a reason. Jill's turn. Jill's going to come in here. Now it's still a blue too, so again, we're not worried about the enhanced attacks of these hunters. She moves in here. She spends 1 action to close that door. So she moves 1 action to move, 1 action to close the door. We have 2 more actions. Is there any way I can kill Ugly Face right here? So she's going to roll a die. She's rolling 1 red with her grenade launcher. We're 2/3 to succeed. I got 2 damage because that's the push symbol for the Eagle 6.0, but that is 2 damage with a grenade launcher. So 2 damage tokens will go on this hunter. And now her last action, she's spending another grenade ammo. Please don't miss. I missed. Oh! So bad, dude. All right, we're doing well. So it does this out of sequence move reaction. So reactions are funny. It doesn't do an attack. I tried to attack it, I failed, but I wasn't in the same square as it, so it just does an out of sequence move reaction, which just means it moves into the space with the 4 of us. We're making a nice little family, father, son, and really ugly frog child. It's now attacking the active character. So if it was not, so notice this character attacked Jill over here. That's fine. If it was arranged to attack anybody, it would, as long as it's on the same rolling tile. If it's equidistant between an active character and another character, it always attacks the active character. Now again, it's only attacking for 1. Jill's trying to evade. She succeeds by rolling that. Now, one thing I didn't note with my attacks, if I ever roll that symbol, I can move to a different place. I do forget her reposition ability a lot. It can often be very helpful. So if I've forgotten it, it was obviously to my detriment. So it did not succeed in its attack because Jill's amazing at evading. We go to the tension phase. Bam, it is all clear. Mikhail's turn. Shooting with the magnum again. Can we please finish this dude off? 5-6 to succeed. I succeeded. It tried hard to be a blank, but it wasn't. I did 3 more damage, so this guy is dead. So that was my first action. My second action, I'm moving here. Third action, I'm moving here. And that's that. We still have this red herb, green herb combo, so we can heal one of us for 3, and both of them have 2 damage. So we'll see who's going to need it more. Reaction phase, this guy is closed off and he's in another room. And tension phase, it's an all clear. There's a lot of tension cards that are back in the deck that I really don't like, but I know they're there, so this could get super dangerous. Oh, man. All right. I need that C. I'm like convinced I need that C token. I'm gonna regret it later in the campaign if I don't get it. And I just love like that tension, like that kind of they built that into the campaign. It's like you're gonna really want this later, but here's your path to salvation now. What do you think? So it is what it is. All right, Jill. 1, 2. Do I trigger this amber tile? Sliding worms. A 1 or 2 are bad. 5's bad. Woof. That amber tile's rough, man. We only rolled. We've rolled 4 a lot. That's been helpful. 6 is pretty bad because that could reopen that door. Oh, man. Yeah, that would definitely reopen that door, which would mean super awfulness. Oh, we gotta go it. So third action, she's coming in here. I don't love it. I'm worried. I think this is a mistake. What do I get? A 4. Beautiful. That's the greatest roll ever. Two zombies at the nearest thing. She's standing on 1, so these suckers go here. And her last action, she's just gonna move further. Her last action, she's gonna move further. She'll just move further into the room this way, just to make it a little less crowded. Zombies are gonna move toward her. We do a tension deck, all clear. Excellent. Yeah, that 4 was super clutch. All right, his turn. He's moving in here. That's 1. We're going to do the shotgun ammo to try to kill both of them. I'm going to succeed 2/3 of the time. I succeed. They're both dead. That's 2. We have no more shotgun ammo, so I'm going to put this wheel down here. 3 and 4. So I do have to think how I'm going to deal with these drain demos. That could be a problem. But, you know, we're trying to make the best of a bad situation, clearly. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, all clear. So getting good luck there. There's some cards here that could have made this super impossible. Jill's turn. 1, 2. Entering a space with a corpse. Did not roll the symbol, so that's 3 and 4. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, this. Mikhail's turn. 1, rolling this. Did not get the symbol, so the corpse stays a corpse. 2, 3, and 4. Did not get the symbol. Corpse stays a corpse. Yeah, I guess getting them both. I was like wondering if maybe I should just send one of them up there to try to start dealing with the drain demos, but this probably makes more sense. And one person gets there, they don't have to pull from the tension thing anymore, but that's fine. Did not get the symbol. I was so reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, good. Jill's turn. 1, 2, entering the space with the corpse. Did not get the symbol, so we're getting lucky there. 3, she's opening the door, so we have to roll again because we did an action on a space with a corpse. Did not get the symbol. We're not entering with 3. Heck no. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, pulling a card. All clear. All right. This shouldn't be as precarious. So he's entering, famous last words. He's entering there. We have to roll on the amber table. I would not mind another 4. We got a 2. What's a 2? 1 hunter B. So these are the hunter Y's. This is the hunter B. It goes here. So that was our first action. We still have another magnum bullet. Hunter B's only have 1 health. I think I just kill this dude, and we'll figure out how we're dealing with the drain demos when we get there. Jill does have a grenade launcher. That's fine. Yeah, just it's so hard to hold on to ammo in this game. In this game, man. I mean, ugh. I hate this and these enhanced bullets. They're super bad. She's only got 4 ammo left. I got 13 here. Because you missed, they did that move reaction, and then they're on top of you. Oh, they're so bad. All right. Yeah, we're doing it. Last magnum. Please don't miss. Great. 3 damage. So the magnum is now out of ammo. So we got lucky we got that out, but this one's dead. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Jill's going to start working her way up there. She's the one with the grenade launcher anyway. So reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, it is vigor mortis. Enemies on the same tile as this character immediately perform a reaction. Nothing happening. Jill's going 1, 2, 3. Have to roll the die because I'm in a place with a corpse. Did not get the symbol. And 4. Reaction, nothing. Tension here. Mikhail goes 1, 2, 3, and you have to be in a lot of things are adjacent space items. You have to be in the same space. So 3. All right. So I flipped it 1, 2, 3. 4 is we're getting the C deck. We have the system disc. We did not take the bait to try to end this scenario without it. So hopefully that pays off down the road. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, all clear. Jill's going 1, 2. This was that a barricade the whole time? No, that opened up. I don't know why that was flipped. I think I might have just accidentally flipped it. Yeah, that was opened up by the that's the only barricade on the board. So that opened up by the event card that the tension card that flipped it up. So yeah, I don't know why that was that way. Where was she? She was 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, all clear. Mikhail, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's heading back. Reaction, nothing. Tension, bloody trail. I could not place a wound token on any unexplored tiles. I've explored all these tiles, so instead we spawn a zombie on the nearest thing that goes there. Now remember, that's after the reaction phase, so that dude's just going to chill there for a second. Jill's turn. 1, 2, 3. She's not opening the door because the drain demos will start. Maybe that's not that weird. 3. Fine, she'll open the door with 4. Reaction phase, this drain demos comes here. This drain demos comes here. Tension phase, we draw a card. Now the demos, again, purple would trigger something else for them, but they don't enter your spot. It's not as bad. Like the dogs actually have like a worse. Oh, they do 2 damage instead of 1. Could go either way. So reaction phase. Remember, now she's no longer linked to this tile, so this guy doesn't even get a reaction. Tension phase, we pull an all clear. Mikhail, he moves onto there. It's on a corpse. Does not roll the symbol. Getting very lucky there. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. No corpses. I'll tell you what. I will take it. Time to go play some craps today. Reaction phase. This guy moves here. Tension phase. Nothing. Jill gonna fire her fiery shotgun, I think. She has a grenade launcher. She has a shotgun. Yeah, she's got some options. Might as well use up all my ammo. Now, I really want to kill this one before I start getting too cute. It is blue again, so we're not worried about the enhanced attack. Let's use the special shotgun. So I roll 2 red dice. I get 1 damage for each. Or I use a grenade launcher. I'm less likely to miss this way, which is why I'm excited by it. Let me use the grenade launcher. So I'm rolling 1 red die. I hit 2/3 of the time. Great, that's 3 damage on the Drain Demos. Easy life. This guy is defeated. The Drain Demos only have 3 health. But then this guy moves, so I attack the other one. So that was the second. That was my first action. I think she's just gonna chill now. Yeah, she's not gonna do any more actions. Reaction phase, this guy goes here. Tension phase, it's all clear. And now that's a purple, so this would be doing enhanced attacks if it was up next, but obviously it's not gonna have a turn. Mikhail's not getting to the stairwell yet, so that's not gonna really matter. So Mikhail's turn, 1, 2, 3, 4. Reaction, this guy moves here. He's like, I'm coming like a zombie. Tension, rapid growl. We get a dog on the nearest thing. That's fine. Mikhail's going to be happily jump down into that stairwell, and we will avoid that dog altogether. Jill's turn. These all can come out. Purple is the top card on the tension deck, so I'll put that there. So that would mean 2 damage if I start attacking the sucker and missing. We are going to try not to do that. I only need to get 3 damage on it. Let me use all my... This resets in between each round, so I'm going to try to use all my handgun bullets and save the rest as much as I can. So I'm rolling 3 dice because I used 2 bullets, so it's 1 red and then 2 blues. I do 1 damage, and that is a hit. Now, there are, like, enemies that you can attack and have no effect on that, but as long as you roll one of those 2 symbols, it still counts as a hit. I do wish the rules were a little bit clearer on that. So I did 1 damage. We're going to use the rest of my ammo, and maybe we'll get lucky and kill it and save the rest of my stuff. So my handgun's depleted. I also should have pushed it. My bad. Because I did get a push symbol. So I got a hit and a push. So to get line of sight, I would have had a move. On my third action, I attacked again. I'm out of bullets. I did not do any damage to it, but I just moved it back twice. I'm not going to attack it again. And its reaction phase, it's just going to move close to me. No, that's not. In my last action, I'll close the door. So when Mikhail gets in there, it doesn't trigger a reaction. Reaction phase, it moves close to me. Tension phase. Now, again, it's extra attack. If it was in range, it would have attacked twice. Since it was not in range, it just did a move. And it moved the 2. So tension phase, we draw this. Cornered. Oh, that could be interesting. Locate the closest. Locate the closest tile to the active enemy where there are enemies but no characters. Now, this is like another thing that's super ambiguous, and I don't like it. When there are levels, it's like, well, enemies can't use stairwells. So locate the closest tile. Locate the tile close to the active character where there are enemies but no characters. Move the enemy on the tile and place it with the highest level. Place them on this character's tile on the closest thing, which is going to be right next to the drain demos. I'm inclined to think that means I grab this guy and put him here. But you could argue that the closest with the stairwell would be this guy. So you have this, because again, 1, 2. I mean, this is 1, 2, 3 tiles. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. That's with a character. I mean, I just don't know if the stairwell applies or not. I have played scenarios where there were literally no other enemies on the board, and I've used the stairwell. I mean, she has the firepower. Like, I don't think I would be killed either way. But I guess for thematic reasons, I'll grab this guy because he is kind of closer. So he just like somehow, jumped there, and we'll call it a day. But if it's like that guy, that's obviously a huge difference, in how that could work out. All right, grenade launcher, shotgun. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Mikhail's going 1, 2, 3, and 4. Reaction phase, there's nothing on that tile. There's nothing linked. Tension phase, all clear. Jill's turn. So Jill is going to use the shotgun ammo. She rolls 2 red dice. Now, if it's this symbol, I just do 1 damage to my target. I'm going to try to kill the drain demos. If it's this other symbol, I do 1 damage to both of them. So I do 1 damage to both of them. So the drain demos is up to 2, and Mr. Hunter Y is up to 1. Second action, same thing. I do 2 damage to the drain demos. Drain demos. Oh, actually, at that point, I should have attacked the frog and hoped I rolled the thing just to kill the drain demo. So I would have attacked the frog. So he now has 3 damage. They're both 1 away from death, and I'll use a shotgun again. Hopefully I can do 1 damage to both of them and get them both the heck out of here. I do 1 damage to both. They're both the heck out of there. Now, if I killed this guy, I still would have done. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I just targeted wrong. I should have. You have to pick your target before you fire. So, from a game theory perspective, it made no sense not to attack the frog. So, use 3 shotgun bullets. I rolled 6 successes. No, I rolled. I was able to double dip on 2 of them. So I rolled 4 successes, double dip, 6 damage total. They're both super dead, but the drain demos had 1 damage coming in, and then I'll just help my friend out, and I'll open the door for him. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, all clear. Mikhail, 1, 2, 3, 4. Reaction phase, nothing. Tension phase, all clear. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reaction, tension, sounds outside. If this character leaves their tile, the next thing, draw 3 tension cards. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Reaction, tension. Now, that's not going to apply really because, again, once you're in here, we don't have to draw tension cards. Remember, special rules: a character in a staff room tile does not have to draw a card during the tension phase. Although, does that mean I have to draw 2 additional? I don't know. We'll just go there. Reaction, tension, just in case. Lurching gate during the next player's turn. All enemies move 1 extra turn. Mikhail's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll get an A item. It's a gunpowder A. That could be helpful. Next scenario. And again, we don't have to draw a tension card. And then Jill, 1, 2, and 3. We'll get this A item. Got a little bit of a reseed before the next thing. We have a handgun bullets. That's cool. And that's it. So the scenario, the player successfully complete the scenario. If all characters are in the staff room and there are no enemies on that tile, we can choose to retire at any time. In theory, I might have maybe had to wait out here with Jill again. Splintering wood. There are no barricades, so then this would have just turned into an archway, which obviously doesn't matter. Then I give Mikhail another chance to get the other item that was there, and then she can enter, and then the scenario, I think, ends at that point. So I think that's how that would have had to play out. Cool. So at the end of the scenario, a couple things happen. This raises, so we're now officially in the orange level. I do have the ability to kind of put whatever I want into into our supplies. So like I would put the ink reel back. We have the system disc. I could put that there, and then I could figure out, hey, what do I want to load up? Both the handgun dials go back to 15. I think this is a single use. I think this is out after the scenario, which is fine because I don't really like it anyway. So we'll set it to 15 normal bullets. The grenade launcher has 2 ammo left. The shotgun has 3 ammo left. Again, the Magnum and the other shotgun were used the heck up. This handgun's going to go to 15. I have a red herb. I have another red herb. That herb I'll just put into our supply. The scenario items will get back and put back in the item B deck. And both characters heal 2 levels, so they're both back to full, that's a nice result. So again, we ignored this event altogether. Had I done that event, yeah, stage 2 Nemesis spawns. I could have fought him, but then I'm stuck on that tile and all badness ensues, and then he has a whole behavior deck. Or I could have tried to jump, and I could have basically jumped from here over to that key and then come through that way. So that's an interesting divergent pathway. If I was better armed and I thought I could do 30 damage pretty easy, that's not a bad idea. But again, I had to do 50 damage on the boss in the last scenario, having that much ammo coming into a new scenario. But that's a really short path. I mean, in theory, you could come here, get into that door. If you can kill the nemesis in those 2 drain demos, like, you can just kind of really short circuit this entire scenario. Although this character would have had to come through there to there and then down, so you're still kind of doing all of this, but you ignore all of that and you don't get the C item. So it's a weird choice there, but I kind of like it. We'll see how it plays out the rest of the campaign. But that is Resident Evil 3. I will for spoiler reasons and otherwise, I will not get into the rest of the campaign. Probably will not be featuring this game again on the channel. I do love it. I do find campaign games a little harder to pull off. There's spoiler concerns, and then there's like trying to be consistent with it, and then you find that every scenario, like, the viewership goes down and down and down because people missed an episode. They're also a lot more work for me because, like, when I want to play a scenario in a campaign, there are rules to do standalone scenarios. I like the more organic feeling of actually playing the campaign, and obviously it's hard to find the time to play a full campaign just to make a video or two out of it. So I am kind of waning on campaign games to some extent, made increasingly hard by the fact that I have, like, Frosthaven, that's a huge box over there, and, like, Oathsworn's coming, and Primal, and Hopamax Victorum, which I understand is more of a campaign feel than Hopamax Remastered. So finding the time to do all these games, I mean, Arkham Horror LCG is still a game I would like to play some more on my own as well, even if I'm not putting that on the channel. So these big campaign games are getting harder to justify, not only like for channel purposes, but also like owning them. You know, if I play finish when I play, I will finish playing through this campaign. I like it that much, but I could, if I say I sold this in 6 months or a year, like, it still doesn't mean it's not a top 15 game for me anymore. It just means that I'm realistically just not playing it. Like, again, right? These campaigns, they do feel like legacy games, right? I never played Pandemic Season 0, 1, or 2 over, and I really don't feel a need to. I saw the story, it was really good. I love the mechanics, but for me to buy another version to play it again, like, it isn't, there's other games I want to play. I could see this kind of falling into that same boat. But that stealth feel, like, I just hope that comes through, like, on the video where you're like, oh man, when that door opened and I was like, man, I just beeline toward that door. And there's actually a card that, like, would have made him activate. And if I had to deal with him early, I think this whole scenario plays out radically different in a way that could have been very, very bad for me. So I got lucky, and the detention deck came out in a way that was really manageable. I got lucky I didn't roll a lot of those symbols. So I only think I spent one corpse spawned into a zombie. The rest of them stayed very corpsey. So we didn't have to deal with that. And we managed to get all the ammo we needed to kill these dudes. I mean, if this deck comes out different, we're all of a sudden in a very different kind of thing. But and the assault rifle bullets. Here's the blue herbs. Here's a first aid kit. I mean, there's always good, but a lot. Wow, that was a string of 4 green herbs in a row. That could have been really bad. That's too many green herbs. I needed ammo. Or if you get the green herbs, and then I'm not as confident about killing these suckers. We just try to evade them. But then again, every time you fail and evade, you're taking the damage, and that's a pretty long tile, for 2 big enemies that both move 2 every reaction phase. So you better be rolling really well with those evades, which is hard with Mikhail because he's only rolling 1 blue die. The other 2 characters in the base game, one of them basically gets to reload for free. So that could be pretty effective. And the other one does some magical stuff. He does magic tricks in the middle of the game. It's really thematically weird, but no. What do you do? What do you do, sir? So Carlos Oliveira, I think this is the one I played. After performing an attack, he may use an ammunition item for the weapon used in the attack without spending an action. So he basically reload. Resourceful, he gains 1 additional point of ammunition when he reloads with the gunpowder item. And then Nikolai, once per scenario, you may shuffle 2 amber tension cards back into the draw pile from the discard pile. At the start of each scenario, he may draw a card from the item A deck and place it in his inventory. I think this is who I played with when I was on the channel 7 months ago. Every character except for Mikhail has 2 dice when they're evade rolls. So that's a really limiting feature for him. But again, it's kind of countered by the fact that when he takes more than 1 damage at a time, he reduces the damage by 1. So if he takes 2 damage, he only takes 1. If he takes 3 damage from an attack, he only takes 2, etc., etc. I don't think there's anything that would give you 4 damage. That seems insane. Although there is a card in the boss decks that just basically makes you go unconscious, and that's super awful. So highly would not recommend is the way that goes. So cool. Thanks for some limited chat here as we get into the new year. I have 2 more videos planned for this week. I will not be live streaming tomorrow. I will be getting a playthrough of Starship Captains on the channel. I very much like that game. I don't love it for solo. I'm intrigued about it from a competitive standpoint, but it was a review copy from CGE. It does some things that are just cool, and it's lighthearted and interesting, and definitely worth checking out, especially if you're a Trekkie at all. If you love Star Trek, I'm not a Trekkie on any level, but I like the game. But if you're a Trekkie at all, it does, from what I understand, it's like a love letter to Star Trek as well. I mean, it could have been called Star Trek the board game, and no one would have been surprised. So definitely check that out. That will be Thursday, and then that's going to start at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then Friday, I'm doing a playthrough of Spirit Island. I finally have the Horizons of Spirit Island spirits, thanks to my friend Steve, because Greater Than Games has not sent me the copy they told me they were going to send me months ago, which is totally their choice. An email would be helpful, but just let me know what's going on, people. I'm kind of an easy dude, so that's a thing. But Steve lent me his copy, so I'm going to get lurking teeth, devouring teeth from underfoot. Yeah, that's right. I don't know where I got the lurking from, but that's going to be on the channel on Friday, so look out for that. Thanks again to Steamforged for sending me this game. This, again, they sent me this. They sent me Horizon Zero Dawn. Was not a fan of. I liked some things in theory, but that game did not last in my collection. And then they sent me. I'm excited to dig into Dark Souls with the new rule set. So I've started watching some videos on that. Adam Smith from Rolling Solo did a really nice breakdown of the rules changes. I think that will really help jumpstart me with the new rule set, and then I'll probably get. I was hoping to get the original on with the new rules. I don't think that's totally viable yet, so it looks like I'm going to be doing I think it's a Tomb of Giants. I'll do a playthrough of one of the new core sets. Hopefully that'll be on the channel in February or March. But Steamforged is an interesting company for me. Like I like their stuff. I really like. This is my favorite of their games by far, and I'm super super thankful to them for keeping Euthia alive, because I'm very excited when I get that one. I know it's a huge game, but it looks like it checks a lot of the boxes that I personally want to see in a game. So super excited about that. But that's that. Any questions, comments, epiphanies, put them in the comment section below. I hope everyone's enjoying their first week of the new year, and I will see everyone everyone who's here and I won't see you. I will see what you write in the chat on Thursday. Looking forward to that. And if you're there Thursday, Friday, next week, whatever it is, until next time, happy gaming.
Solo.